Hello, everyone. This is Lodro. We're going through the mind training slogans of Atisha these last several weeks. And Atisha was this wonderful Indian meditation master in the Buddhist tradition who laid out ways that we could train the mind just through remembering simple sayings in order for us to actually show up and be of benefit to the world. So, our meditation practice in the morning is wonderful, but there's also an element here of when we emerge from the meditation practice, we have to enter the rest of our day with mindfulness and compassion. We don't just leave that, check that at the cushion. We bring it into all of our activity. And that brings us to this week's slogan, 4 practices are the best of methods. So these are 4 practices that Atisha has offered us that we could do in our daily life. And the first of these is known as accumulating merit. And I realize a merit system, sometimes people think like Boy Scouts, like you earn a merit badge or something like that. This is more of a general sense of offering good deeds and that we would actually accumulate merit. We'd accumulate, you could say, even good karma or virtuous karma by acting on behalf of others. So we've attained this body through merit, not through accident. And the more we accumulate merit, the less adversity we tend to face in our day-to-day life. Things just generally become easier if we're acting in a compassionate way. That's the idea. So we can do good deeds on behalf of others, and there's just an acknowledgement here that when we're doing this, whatever we're doing, we're trying to help other beings, and doing that sort of disrupts our own ego and our own fixation, just only focusing on me, me, me. So that's part of this accumulating merit aspect. The second of these practices is known as laying down evil deeds / confession. And I realize, again, that some of these might feel a little outlandish or uncomfortable. Instead of saying evil deeds, Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche once called these things our quote-unquote neurotic crimes. And I really like that saying, our neurotic crimes. The ways that we feel like we've fallen down on the job of mindfulness. We acknowledge to ourselves what we feel ashamed about. And even just the acknowledgement will change or ameliorate our future karmic situation. So Trungpa Rinpoche, in his book, Training the Mind and Cultivating Loving Kindness, went through 4 steps for this. We could actually, 1, get tired of our own neurosis. We would say, I don't want to do that thing again. You wake up hungover in bed next to someone, you say, oh God, how did I even end up here? I don't want to do that again. 2, we acknowledge our mistake. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. And we say we won't repeat it again. We're not going to keep going down on that same road and make the mistake over and over again. 3, we then offer our neurosis. We give it up. There's a sense of forgiveness here. Well, that happened. Okay, I acknowledge it. And 4, we recommit to the path of mindfulness and compassion. We start anew, and we not only make the mistake again, but really cling to, or cling to is probably not the best way of saying it, we re-engage our mindfulness practice in a way that we will not go down that road again. So that's the second of practice that Atisha recommends. In addition to accumulating merit, we lay down our quote-unquote evil deeds or neurotic crimes. We confess, even to ourselves. We don't need to go to a priest and confess. We just acknowledge these things to ourselves. Oh, I don't want to do that again. We don't. 3, third practice, offerings to duns. Sometimes these are translated as evil spirit or obstacles. Psychologically, the idea of duns are sudden attacks of neurosis that seem to come from nowhere in a sudden burst. All of a sudden, you're going about your day and you just feel sad. You feel angry. You feel frustrated. So we can think of them as obstacles, these manifestations of fear, anger, just being mean. Or we could think of them in this more traditional sense of evil spirits. And Trungpa Rinpoche, in his commentary on this slogan, said, it's presumptuous to just say, oh, evil spirits, they don't exist. He said, quote, we don't know what does or doesn't exist. We have to be open to what we may not understand, unquote. So sort of suspending judgment for the moment, just acknowledging that there are forces at work, either forces inwardly, our emotional states, or forces outside of our body that are at work that we may not always know about. And in either case, the idea is that we acknowledge and we appease them. When difficult situations arise here, we could actually feel grateful because whatever wakes us up is a good thing. That's this point in the practice. Obstacles aren't, oh no, an obstacle's coming for me, I need to curl up in a ball and cringe. It's, oh, an obstacle's coming. Wonderful, I'm going to have to learn how to ride this wave. This is an opportunity for me to be wakeful. this opportunity for me to apply my mindfulness and my compassion. So I feel grateful for the opportunity. That's the idea here. And then the final of these 4 practices is the offerings to Dharma Protectors, sometimes called Dharmapalas. These are more benign or enlightened beings. And Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche even jokes about them being sort of patron saints of the Buddhist teachings. So what we're doing here is saying, please protect my mind. If there are these external beings, these benign or enlightened beings, protect my mind, please. Keep it grounded in mindfulness, in compassion. Keep me there. And there's lots of talk about traditional offerings like dwarma, which is a little cake that's made in the Tibetan Buddhist tradition. But really, we could also just offer up our own fixed expectations. We could offer up words of aspiration, that may I be patient, may I be kind, or chants. We could actually do traditional chants. The wonderful Shambhala Buddhist teacher Judy Leaf once said, quote, "When we are caught in self-deception or unmindfulness, the world strikes back." The idea is that we should not only appreciate that, but invite it. So, unquote. So what we're saying here is when we get lost, we're way out there, we get nudged right back to the present moment. And we should be able to appreciate that, those reminders. What does this mean for us, given how I just talked about like confessions and evil deeds and obstacles and duns and all these things? What is practical for you for your day-to-day life? This is a good question. The weekly meditation challenge this week is on a given day to pick one of the 4 practices and do it. Do something that benefits others without hoping you will see benefit too. Acknowledge a legit neurotic crime that's come up and refrain from doing it again. 3. When we feel attacked by a dun, thank it for shaking us out of our complacency and just see what happens when we do that. 4. Make an offering of some sort to wisdom beings, whatever that means to you. Okay, good luck. I can't wait to see how this one goes. Let's talk via Facebook group, and also a reminder that we have a conference call scheduled. So if you're getting the newsletter, you'll see that it's on May 18th. I can't wait to hear all of your questions about the Lojong slogans